For the railing, if you're wondering about this, I think that's part of the Chua Tech fireplace, just part of it showing through, and so they decided to just make it into a little couch kind of arrangement rather than trying to hide it or make it smaller. They wanted it a certain size down below. They have it poking through, so they just decided to cover it up with some pillows and say that was meant to be that way. Little treasure pile, and of course they're using the Chua netting as like a hammock bed type thing. Oh, I swear, I hate getting sick. Okay, so I think that is all for the Chua Council Hideout by Titus McPumpkin. Oh, pardon me. So the last house we're going to visit today is from Tribalog, I think is how you say it. Elildar. Gosh, people's names are so hard to pronounce. It's called the Kratos Dominus Mansion. Now this is the place that I've seen kind of evolve, and I'm afraid that they're going to change it again before I get to show it off. So I'm going to show it now, even though there are clearly some places that they haven't finished building. But they've already changed it at least once that I know of, and what they had before was really nice looking, but they've modified it greatly since then. So I want to show you guys some of this before they go and change it again. Hey Linkar, glad you could join us. And anyone else that happens to be lurking around. I know a lot of people don't like to chat. I think this is an upside down platform, like one of the landing platforms. I'm not for positive though, but it is trimmed with a charming bar. And then all of the railings are the golden arrows. And then the stone steps, those were a super rare drop from, I think, one of the dungeon chase events or something. But I like how the golden arrows are being used as the railing. They kind of inset it a little better here, so you just see the end of it. But it works really well. And of course, this is a Dominion mansion, so the colors go really well. You'll notice that they have a little bit of a dirt mound here. As far as I can tell, it's an actual Protostar Instahill, but it also could be upside down massive umbrella tree, because I see the puffs, but they're not exactly white, so I don't think it's a snowy hill. But most of the stone trimming around is the gray stones. Those are the ones that are kind of considered hollow, so you can get away with putting them pretty close to the teleporter or directly on top of it. So you can see there's a pretty large, well, it's a mansion, it's supposed to be a mansion, so it looks like a mansion. Got a really nice area in front, but off to the side, they've added this little like technophage area. So you'll see that they do have some Dominion fencing, but they've accented it with the like the Gothic pillars. It's not the Gothic ones, it's like the rusted ones. I think you get those from a particular vendor in Thade. They've also added some reinforced walls. There's a lot of like, this is like the Dominion cage. You're going to see probably Dominion benches. There's a lot of yellow, gold, and red, so it's going to be a lot of Dominion decor. Same way with the sconces here. So this is I think it's actually two of them, and you're just seeing like either the top or the bottom. So the actual laser beams are inside the wall here, so you can't see them. And then you just come into this really bright technophage room. Get a little closer so you can see everything. Some of this bits is like the Dominion, I want to call it armoire, but it's like a clothing cabinet. What's it called? Wardrobe, I think. Dominion wardrobe. These are the technophage pillars, I think. It's the round, it looks like a scientific tube of goop. Some of them are the emitters, the ones that look like fuel stations. There's a lot of the trim, the circuitry trim. There's this was made up of not only some of the technophage decor for like a lot of the lighting and bit, but also the Charvy bars for the gold. Oh, I apologize for that. All right, Bodes, have a good day at work, and thank you for coming by for the time that you did. This floor here is just the combination of layers of framed glass. That's where you get all this nice little design and how they've been combined. Some of these there's the technophage hollow stations. They're kind of injected into this glowing crystal. Those are a lot of the buoyant blue crystals, making this little, I don't know, power source or whatever. Again, lots of technophage stuff. It's just lots of bits. Mostly the panels. This one is like the technophage platform, and they've added the animation, I think, is from one of the rating dummies. It has like the blue and the little sparkles that come over from it, and they've just got that hidden in. And then the two bits that are going round and round, I think that's from the FreeBot transformer. It's the same thing that a lot of people use for like their mixers and things like that. It's just enlarged and turned on its side. They've accented part of this with the holographic shop signs to give it some weird little symbols. Pardon me, I know that sounds disgusting, but now that I've sneezed, I'm just like flooding in. It's pretty nasty. Here's a little better look at this little crystal formation that they put together. Again, it's a lot of I think it's the technophage emitters that's giving off a lot of this light and stuff. The blue buoyant crystals and some of the tube bits. It's a pretty astounding looking room. Now there is a bit on the other side, and we'll probably see that in a different area. But they've kind of got it blocked off with the cryopod. And, well, the area down here, it's like a little sciencey spot. I don't know why they have this one poking in and out, but that's the top of one of the I think it's the Ichthian lamp or water tower. It has a little bulb of blue water on top, and that's what they're showing. And like here, they have the chicken on top of the body scanner. And this is part of the unfinished area, you can see through there. Like if you open the door, it comes out to kind of nothing. Anyway, with this one, it's actually the garden, and they've kind of turned it into a hydroponics place. using the round blue light lounge drinking tables. Those I think come from, I think it's the Crime Lords adventure. It's either that or PvP. It's one of the two. It's not very common. They're bind on pickup, so you can't find them on the age. You actually have to get them to drop for yourself if you want them. That's one of the reasons why you don't see them that often, I think. But they make great for fountains. If you're wanting some kind of a water effect. And then just using several different kinds of containers. This is the Ichthian tank. These are some clunky fire extinguishers, that kind of thing. But again, you can see how it's kind of not quite boxed in like you would expect. Oh my gosh. I do apologize. That's pretty disgusting. Okay, we're going to go back up. I can find my way back. Good thing it's like at the last house, because I don't know how much longer I can hold out. I blame my husband's coworker. His coworker's constantly getting sick because they have two young boys. They're twins, and the one is, one will get sick and then it'll start getting better, and then the other one will get sick, and of course, the dad, who is a coworker of my husband, he's all the time catching their cooties. And that's just the joy of young kids. You have the cooties, you pass along the cooties, and I guess he shared them with my husband at work. So my husband's sick, and now I feel like I'm starting to get that way too. Let's go this way. Obviously, the stone steps are really nice, but again, they're not a very common item. If you do happen to catch them on the edge, they're probably going to be fairly expensive. If you do find them for cheap, grab them up, I tell you, because you're not going to find them too readily for too little. So here's a good shot of the front. You can see that's where we were just now with the technophage stuff. And this is the main entrance here. You can see a little pathway that leads to the side. But this is a good shot of like the fountain in the front. It's made out of multiple datascape windows for that nice flower pattern. And again, I think they're using the drinking table that we saw at the hydroponics part. They're using that for the fountain water at the bottom. Again, a lot of accents from decor that has those colors that they're looking for, like this is the charming bar, and a lot of areas is using accents here. It's here as well. You can see for this little balcony area, that's there too. There's a really huge one up top. They're using a lot of Eldon materials as well. So you see that here. Again, these are the golden arrows, but they're using a lot of the Eldon bits that has the gold trimmings on it for a lot of the accents, like these bits here. And of course, then you've got a lot of the Dominion stuff, the banners, the statues, the sconces, the lamps. Here you have the keyhole windows. They're not only just use normal, but they're also like a little, like a turret window where people would like put their guns out. Notice for a lot of the exterior of the mansion itself, there are gravestones. Pardon me, it's the Dominion version, and that's what they're using for a lot of this trim. You get that dark part, and you also, in some of it, you see it almost looks like flags hanging down, like little stone banners. But that's what all of this is. Those are just, this whole bit here is gravestones, and they're using that as the trim for the building itself. They're using those ornate fence posts again, just like they did over here. Again, I believe those are from the aid vendor. And then for the little divot bits, it's the reinforced walls. Looks very fortified and grand. Okay, let's go back down this way. And apologies, I know I'm sounding pretty disgusting, but I can't help it. Let's stick with the main path, I guess. So that's the entrance there, and then you come off into this little path. So on this part, you have kind of the landing strip for their ship. And this is where they're showing off some of their Dominion military bits. This is the lab that we saw before. Now, they have the gates here, but because of the way they have them situated, you have to be like up here to be able to unlock it. I don't know if that was their intention, but anyway. Again, this is part of that technophage stuff. The maintenance platform, you've got granite walls and Draken pillars for the trim. Same way with the pillars here, but they've turned it, they've added extras so it looks like an actual column. And again, you can see a little up close that those are indeed the Dominion version of the gravestones. Sorry. Strangely, I don't know why, if it's meant that it's like supposed to be the 4 seasons. Like this is winter, autumn, summer, and spring. I suspect that might be what they're going for, but it's still a little weird because you have this nice wintry section. But they built a little igloo out of the ice rock blocks. You've got the cornerstones, or not the cornerstones, the arches for the door here. And you have this little Tua guy, and he's got his little Lop plushie inside there. Got the little hookah smoking out the top. Hey Faye, good morning. You have one of the boulder backs buried here. Over here, the water's frozen, so you have this little fountain thing. Just chose up different types of snowy bits of decor to add to it. Frozen lakes for most of the ground here. Then on what I presume to be the fall area, this is lots of dead grass, burning bits, probably some cactuses, I would assume. A little tent, a little campfire as well. This here, I don't know what specific pieces are in use, but I think this part is the dais, the stone dais that you could get for the Dungeon Chase event. And then this here is like the same item, just repeated. I honestly don't know which one it is. I suspect it's one of the Elden types of pieces, and they've just replicated it to make this nice little pattern. I suspect that the green glowy bits that's coming out is part of the data cubes that bounce around. They've just got them sunk down so you don't see the cubes themselves. And then this looks to be more of those datascape windows that they've just cleverly patched in there. Again, I don't know what it's supposed to be exactly, but it looks really cool. Yeah, I really agree. That's the first time I think I've ever seen them used in that way, and it's really quite clever and it matches really good. I mean, yeah, I recognize it as being the gravestone, but for others that come in that aren't familiar with all of the decor that's available, They probably just think it's part of a building block or something, but it works really well. The colors, I think, with them choosing the granite style walls for most of the building, it just kind of blends well because it's got that kind of a mottled green tan look, and I think it works really nicely. So again, this is the standard fountain, which I think they've added some things to just dress it up, like the round drinking tables here and here. They've added some asteroids and the space wheat. Most of the walkway is Draken floors with Cassian pillar to separate each section, and then trimmed with the Dominion fencing. And then again, they're using one of those daises or whatever you call it for the platform, the raised part. Again, I suspect this is to represent summer because it's got like a little hammock that you would just kind of chillax in while it's warm. And then on this side is spring. So like I said, I think it's like supposed to represent the 4 seasons. So spring, you have a lot of the little pretty plants, colorful flowers, that kind of thing. Some of them are from the spring decor pack. Others are just random flowers and trees. Same way here. And then I think these little warning cones are to kind of let you know that it's not completely finished over here. So in this little nook, you have, I don't know, there's a bench and it's kind of like maybe you would come here to meditate, to think on things. Not sure what it's for. It's a giant ruby figurehead inside the roots of one of the mangrove trees. Over here you have like a little training platform. Again, they may have bigger plans for it and they just haven't gotten to it yet. And again, this is kind of like an unfinished area, but you can see some of the stuff they've been putting together on it. Again, they're showing it with the cones. It's not quite done. This is part of the club. We'll get to more of that as we come through the front. This here is one of those glowing columns, and then they've inset one of the holographic shop signs inside it, so it looks like it's different but not. Go at this from the front now. Oh my gosh. So again, here you see just the variety of materials they're using. I see like for these little pedestals here, those are the tops of the airtight containers. You've got the granite walls, but you also see some foreign floors. You see Cassian floor bits. And notice, this is granite wall and that's granite wall, but they look different because of the coloring. And I think that's more to do with the lighting that's being used and how it's placed. Now this door here, that's actually the prefab home. And they've just outlandishly built it up. They've covered it and built it up using various Dominion bits to really spruce it. I mean, you've got, I think some of this is fence posts. I honestly don't know what all parts this might be, but it looks really nice for an entranceway. To me, Aurora, they're interchangeable. Gravestones or tombstones, I think it's, or headstones. You sometimes call them headstones as well. Yeah, I think tombstone is like usually the Western bits, but tombstone, headstone, gravestone, I think they're all referring to the part that has like the name and the date and everything. Now, if they're just talking about the flat part that laying on, that's just the tomb or the grave. I don't call that a stone. Of course, that might be just me in my neck of the woods. I don't know. Okay, so if we go off to the side, this gives us access. I think this is one of the fab kits. I think it's an expedition, and they've just dressed it up with a landing pad um, and some of the Elden elements. You see, like the tubes. You see some of the I think it's a Pell or Falcon post there. There's the Osun panels, the Datascape windows. So it looks like a giant control room. They even have some of the little dudes, the ones you get from the Sim stuff in there, which looks a little clever. Again, it's one way to incorporate your fab kits nicely. And you can see they've gone out of the way to collect a lot of those stone stairs. They look great, they work nice, but again, it's not a very common item. So it's not something everybody's going to be able to get a hold of. So they have these nice little alcove type of things for their displays of their statues and stuff. Well, the building one that's above, yeah, I would call that a crypt. Uh, or I think there's another, like a, starts with an M. Can't think of the name. Anyway, this one, it's backed by the Dominion walls, but it's trimmed with the granite ones, pillars. The base of it is, I believe, the bottom of I think it's the one with the Draken on it, I want to say. I believe it's the bottom of that, and they're using that as the pedestal for Malvolio's bust. And then here, they made it look like a door to another room using benches and that ornate cabinet, which is a clever way of making a nice faux door. Done the same here for the soldier bust. And they actually have a little outing here for this little area. So there's the hydroponics garden down below. Again, they're using the fencing, the ornate fencing for the railing. This time it's Draken walls for the floor. Again, you can see the kind of the incomplete area back here. The camera keeps jumping. Mausoleum, yes, that's it. That's what I was thinking of. It's close enough. You don't have to be specifically right on. So over here we have another structure. This is part of that technophage. This is where the pod, little cryopod was, blocking us from entering. This is like another path to the technophage room. Don't know what's being used for all of this part. I want to say it's the back of one of the pictures, but I don't think it's that. But I like how they've got like uh, the uh, the wheels. It kind of looks like maybe these lift up and close back down depending on where you are. This is like where you would unlock the doors from below. Remember where I said I couldn't reach them? This is where you can reach them. So someone could actually, like say you have somebody come in and at the front and say, let me in, and then someone be here, and that's how they open the fences, the gates. Same way here. I think that's a clever way. Pretending like they actually have to crank it up for the person outside. Don't know what they're using for the lights here. I suspect those are the Cassian fence posts or light posts, but I'm not sure. Hi, Eurysis. Glad you could join us. I'm not good with the languages, so I'll just take your guys' word for it. Up to the next level, and that brings us to the outside. Now we're on the tippy top. So you can see how they've built in with some of the Exonite, using also some of those Justice windows. And I want to say it's the Dominion generator. Yeah, that's it. You can power it up. And of course, once you're out here, then you can get a little bit on the edges. This is above the technophage area that we visited earlier. So again, lots of the Draken pillars being used to make it look like large columns. It's just several of them grouped together. Again, you can see a little closer the gravestones, the tombstones, whatever you want to call them. Again, using that faux door that they used down below, just the benches on either side of one of the ornate cabinets. And again, using those charming bars as accents, but notice they filled it with curved hover part pieces to throw in some brown there. We have the storage room for some of their supplies. And then look here, you have a little staircase. This appears to be, if I'm not mistaken, looks like windows to me. Really can't say for sure. Ugh, get up there. So here we have a little luxurious bedroom. I love the way they've used the red drapes as like part of the overhang for the bed, or a canopy type of effect. Come on, get up there. Very confined space, but it still works. So here's a little peeky out area, so you can see. Just look how massive. There's just so much going on. Like Rapunzel's tower or something. Again, using a lot of the exotic decor. This one's kind of dressing up the bar a little bit. These are the Osun doors. They have a really nice, lovely animation again. It's from an event that we had, I believe. And here's another little room. Got some artwork and stuff, so I don't know if this is like kind of like a museum type of thing or what, but look at how they've taken, I think it's the Dominion banners. It's got that like the blue wings up at the top, and they've just used that as like this nice little accent all around. Some of this is some of the new Macari decor. I think this is the lamp. You can see the columns as well. Got all those little rotating bits. It's a really nice look to it all. Yeah, it does kind of look extravagant with all the gold, doesn't it? Again, another good view of how they're using the headstones, the gravestones, the tombstones, whatever you want to call them. Very nice way of trimming. Because again, this here is even part of it, because that's like the dirt part, I guess. This works really, really well. Okay, so did we see all of it? I think so. Really like the tower, how they did this. I honestly don't know what they're using for the stairs, but that was pretty nifty. Okay, so let's go this way. So we have all of these, again, it's a lot of Elden, Dominion, like this is the Dominion emblem, I think. Some of this is like the Elden laboratory display. It's all part of it. It's just parts of it are poking in and out. So then you come up on this like little throne. That again is one of the new Macari pieces. Try and not fall off here. Trying to get a little higher perspective so that I could show this really nice. Couldn't figure out how to get to the other. Did I miss the door or something? There was a couple other platforms that we didn't see. Let me go back over here. Go back up. Maybe it's this way. Yeah, see, I see the area, but I don't see how to get to it. Let me just pop out. Maybe there's a door I didn't notice. Here's like some weaponry. Again, they got multiple levels here. Look at that. Like, just kind of tiered all the way through. Now this is above the technophage area. To clarify where we are. Oh, okay, so I must have been able to get to it from the technophage part itself. That's like a giant cot, medical cot there. Strange. This part here, those are the graded floor panels. These, I never remember the names of those things, but it's another Dominion only kind of deal. Okay, now I'm going to have to figure out how to get back. You can see there's some pieces. This is like not quite completely finished. Can I make it? Ugh. Yes. Oh, wow, I'm getting a little bit of lag here. There's just so much awesomeness going on. My computer's freaking out. I think that's what it is. Notice they're using the bookshelves as additional decoration. They don't even have to put anything in the bookshelves. They just add it in. Again, another close-up look of how they're using those headstones there. So this is another section on the other side. Lots of panels, exonite, Alden walls, and then you have this like little power source here. This is the Marauder netting shelf that they're using. A lot of people like to use this because it has the opening in the middle. You just pop right down and poof, you're inside the engine room or whatever. A lot of this is the Osun emblems, panels, whatever you call them, with a little bit of Technophage stuff thrown in. And then here's one of those cages again being used. Here, that faux door that they've been using, benches on either side, cabinet. And this leads out to where we were before, a little club. So if we go along this way, we come to the jail.
Give me the open sky.
And there's old Dorian Walker. He's imprisoned here.
That's living, kid.
Some of the new Osun chains, some of the Artera decor, the graded, like a floor panel thing, but it's the other one. It's like the chain link stuff. Again, another one of the, I think it's a combination of the Marauder panel and the Blue Light Lounge drinking table is what it looks like above. And then this is the other way to the hydroponics. Came at it from these two doors. There's also this way as well. Yeah, there's plenty of gold. But, you know, when we come across a lot of Dominion or Cassian themed homes, that's like their primary thing. They're going to go for the gold stuff. Okay, I'm just double checking to make sure we've seen all of the spaces before we go into the main house. Let's see. I think that's everything out here. Pretty sure. Now, how did I get? Right. Okay, so down, down, down we go to the main house here. And from what I can tell, this is strictly a Cassian prefab home, and they've just gone all out with gold. There's like gold everywhere. Like this part here, this is a regular Dominion bookshelf, but this part here, that's part of the, I think it's the captain's chair that's been added in. The fireplace is mostly comprised of the charming bars with a little bit of taurine. I think that's the taurine forge. Got some Marauder shelves acting as like the guard from the ash and stuff. But look how bold and just opulent that looks. You've got the really large dining table. It's just a combination of two of the Dominion conference tables. Notice the head chair, the honcho's chair. His is a little different than the rest. I like this little bit here. It just gives a little different. You see the little balconies. Again, those are the charming bars, and then they've got a dome, and then I think it's one of the technophage tubes, but they've accented it with this little round the wall bit, just using the curved Cassian walls and Cassian pillars, kind of smooth it off. Yeah, this is all EU. We strictly do EU house tours at the moment. We've had some requests for NA, but I've been holding off. The only thing we do for NA is we also do a monthly CBDC, which is a custom built decor challenge. We do showcase NA builders when that comes around. Okay, so this one opens up to just a faux space. It's like maybe it's a portal to another dimension. I don't know. But it's matched with this one. And look at this lovely little space. You have this grand, like, double staircase. It's made out of the Heart collection themed coffee tables. This bit here with the red trim, those are upside down comfortable Dominion beds. You can almost see the pillows down there. Again, even the little space here, that's just the walls for that is the justice windows. Just the thickness of those. They're nice thick items, so don't know what pieces all of these are. This looks to be part of the Dominion generator, and don't know what those are. It's like some other kind of Dominion part. It's only accessible to them. But again, the heart tables for the staircase. And then again, you have the balconies with the charming bars, and then for the flooring, they're just using a round rug for that. Are those like the Dominion, the military, what do they call those things? Bunkers? The military bunkers? Maybe that's what those are. Yeah, Iris, that's kind of what a lot of builders complain about. We're always looking for more cash. Um, as I tell a lot of people when they're just starting out, just keep in mind housing is a marathon. It is not a sprint. It's a long-term kind of thing. Um, a lot of these builds that you see have literally taken months for many of us. There are some really fast builders that can pop out a whole plot in just a couple of days, but that's not usually the norm. The norm is usually most of us take a span of several months because there's, not only time involved in putting it together, but also time involved in gathering the materials. A lot of stuff requires you to farm certain things or raise enough money to purchase them or whatever it might be, whether it be renowned, plat, or otherwise. Notice just this little extra decoration here. They've using triangles instead of the squares, and so it adds a little extra to it. I like how the cabinets seem to be kind of themed. You've got all Ichthian stuff here. In this one that looks a little, it's got this special, maybe it's a special, supposed to be like a staff or a scepter that was behind some closed doors there, so they locked it off. See how they did the same with this? This is kind of like the Marauder one. Got the emblem there and all their little doodads. Yes, exactly. Exactly. All right. Thank you for joining us and hope you have a good day. Be free to come back and visit us anytime you want. So here's a little doohickey that they've done. This here that they're using to hang the ladder on, that's just the back part of, I believe it's the um, holographic shop sign. I think that's what it is. Notice they chose to block off this space. They've made it a little bit more compact instead of leaving it open. A lot of people like to expand it, make a little room here, but they just chose to block it off entirely. Here's another faux door. This time they went more golden. They've actually covered up uh, most of the ornate cabinet with other bits. Part of a picture, I think, portrait. Really hard to see because how it's put in, but how awesome is that? Maybe it's a treasure room or something that is supposed to represent a place where they have like important documents or something. Here we have a shower. I like how they're using the stuffed cabinet as maybe like towels or something in here. Got some bath beads as well. Suitcase, ladder, and got up. I don't know if I can get up there. Hop, little mouse, hop. Get up there. Ugh. Won't let me. I don't know. Let me see if I can. Nope, can't use my mouse. So I'm trying to get on the top of the ladder and then jump from there. Whoop, there we go. So here's the attic. See how clever that was put in? They make it so you see the ladder, you see the little open hatch, and then you can get up inside here. This is just some random junk. Got some holographs, playing some games. Nice use of the cobwebs. Shower stall itself, a little different. Look how they've got a little scrub brush. It's the end, I think, of the pointy Draken spear, and the spear part is stuck into the wall, so you just see the handle, and then they put a little tuft of grass to make it look like a little scrub brush thing. The shower head is, I think it's that chimney thing. It's the one that I always say it looks like hot dogs on a stick because of the brown parts there. I don't know what kind of shower they're taking, but I would guess that maybe it's like different types of streams or something coming out. And of course, the red moon vent or the drain, a big favorite. Notice how they've got it to look like there's a door that slides open and closed. Same way here. It's just a pair of the staircase landings with a Tua cup as the handle. Very simple way of indicating that there's a door. Okay, here is the kind of lounge area, like where they have their big screen TV, a little bar, flash library, another little bathroom section, and I love the toilet. It's very cleverly done. I'm not sure I can name all the pieces, but it looks like a couple of Eldon statue pieces. They've got like, this is part of a rocket, I think. This is the Dominion control panel. This part here and the purple bit in the middle, that's part of the Technophage platform. The bowl itself is, it looks like a Granock style holodome, and then they've topped that with the charming bars. So it doesn't have like a lid per se, but it definitely looks like a toilet. As many of you know, I have a thing for people coming up with different ways of making the toilets, but that's definitely original. I've not seen one put together like that quite so nicely. The toilet paper roll dispenser is just one of the Dominion conference tables stuck to the wall so that the bottom of it is part of the dispenser holder. This little thing here looks like the drying thing for drying your hands. That's just the back of the Flush-O-Matic 5000 or whatever it's called. Again, for this little archway, it's just multiples of that, the bar, the charming bar. Close the door. Notice they're using a combination of, this is exile walls here, this is Dominion walls, Cassian pillars. It looks like these are just custom stairs. I don't think they're the standalone stairs. I think they're actually just metal edge 2x4s, landing platforms, chains for the railing there. And then you have the bedroom up here where they wanted to show their plushie collection. Nice way of framing the bed here, using again some of that Elden decoration. Looks like it's upside down. Little space for their desk. Really fun little arrangement of rooms. Again, when you know, while a lot of us tend to custom the entire home, it's still fun to see how people divvy up these prefab houses. They make it look like there's so much more space than there really is, just because of how they can add in different levels. I think that's a raid drop, this particular thing with the avatar trying to get out and his little lock rattles. That's a raid drop. Okay, so that is it for Tribalog Elildar, Elildar, E-L-I-L-D-A-R, Elildar. The Created Dominus Mansion. Again, I suspect there's probably more work that's coming. They got the whole back end that they could probably fill in with more stuff. But I also suspect, just based off of all that we've seen, all of the decor used, that it's very likely they've hit the decor limit. For some, that's what stops you from building. Once you hit that cap of 2,500, you're done. For some, it's just taking the time to raise the funds, because, you know, while it's not a freebie kind of hobby, housing can be expensive, even if you do like me and build strictly off of the housing vendor. 25 silver here, 25 silver there, a gold here, gold there. That all adds up pretty quick, especially if you're doing a lot of custom building. So respect to those that tough it out, hang in there, and continue with their work at whatever pace they are able to. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's tours. Remember, we'll be doing this again next week. It'll be Exile's turn, and I've already got some nice ones lined up for you. As well, I'm hoping to do a strictly spooky tours episode sometime at the end of this month. I'm guessing around the 26th or so, because the 31st is already slated for the CBDC showcase. But I have a couple on Dominion side, I think, and one or two on Exile side. But if you know of any other spooky plots that we haven't already toured, or that have had some major changes made to them since the last time we took a look at them. Please feel free to give me a poke about those, because I would be happy to include them in that special Spooky Tours episode as well. Again, we do have the CBDC ongoing, just as Poi has reminded the chat. It is monster themed this month. So basically anything goes. It doesn't have to be a well-known monster like Frankenstein or Dracula or anything. It can be something totally made up from your own imagination, as long as you kind of give me an idea what it is. If it's a swamp monster or a space monster or a closet monster, I don't know what. But it's open to both factions, both regions. It doesn't have to be a full-on plot build surrounding it. You can just have just the monster by itself. Um, it could be a painting of a monster if you want, or it can be, the three-dimensional little creature itself. Anything goes pretty much, as long as it stays within the spirit of the theme. I'm pretty much game for it. We already have several entries. We've got stuff from Trolls to the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. We've got Frankenstein and his bride. We've got a griffin. I think a dragon is on its way, and a couple other things. I'm excited to see. Some of them I've already taken a peek at, and others I'm kind of waiting. So I'll be just as surprised as the rest of you. But it's looking to be a really great CBDC. So I hope if you don't join us for any time other than those, come for the tours, come for the showcases. You won't be disappointed, I promise. In the meantime, good luck with your projects. Thank you again for joining and all of the support, the tweets, the retweets, the follows, the votes. And I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.